And hello there, everyone. Osage Orange here, and welcome to another episode of Midwestern Minecraft. We are here on episode number 59 of this series. Do appreciate everybody who's come out. I hope that your guys' time zone, whatever your guys' time zone is most wunderbar. So, on the agenda for today, we are going to be continuing our work on the kitchen, getting, hopefully, knock on wood, getting that all, hopefully, in a far better state of completion. That is, to make it all finish making it all nice, neat, and pretty. You know, getting stuff installed, making it to where it's, could, be a serviceable kitchen. So that is our agenda for today. If we don't get done, we don't get done. If we do get done, we will, hopefully, knock on wood, again, be able to go forth and do something else. Probably do something on the item sorter, probably get a few dealios related to that done, if we're able to get that far. Hooray. And if not, well, like I said, we'll get done what we can get done. We'll just do what we can. So I have off cam. This week I've been having to take care of a decent chunk of IRL stuff. So after work, so it's been a case of quite literally having to do those other IRL things. And there have been part of what time I have had to be able to game, I have been actually playing Planet Base. Because I'm getting part of me is with us doing Midwestern Minecraft, I'm kind of getting a little, starting to get that tickle of burnout on Minecraft. So that is why I haven't been doing quite so much in terms of stuff. But since last episode, I have been able to do a small smidge of mining. So anyway, last episode we went ahead and we got this cooking area all, prepped up. This is more of the, the main meal preparation area, for like cooking, the equivalent of, cooking, breakfast, lunch, dinner, that sort of thing. That in here, and we'll probably put in, what I'm thinking is we'll probably put in some ferni over here, but we won't have quite so much of what we have right up here, chests and all that. Because I'm thinking that this would be more of the, the open air, stuff where you're really having a little bit more space to do that sort of thing. Then, of course, up here, this is the washstand area. We'll have some more. Oh, you know what? That might be a good thing for right up here is, might do some of that stuff up here. Hey, Lil, how you doing? Hope you're doing wunderbar. What we might do downstairs is, I was thinking that, we could have our, the equivalent of some of our freezers and some food prep over there. And then down here, we'll have like fridges and more prep areas. So, let's go over here. Say, just what I wanted. Let's first get started here. We'll put up the equivalent of some fridges. It's for me at least, it's more of the, I know it's not a, hello sheepy sheeps, I hear you buying over there. I know that, wool doesn't equate to fridges. Wool with buttons doesn't equate to fridges, but at least, it's, meant to be more of a placeholder, if you will. Good. I just gave myself an idea. Because I realized that, right here, that, the buttons won't be able to do their thingy. But, yes, the inevitable B-U-T-T. The inevitable B-U-T-T. We can still make some stuff happen. So, make sure we further in place buttons. So this is more of the, the symbolism of fridges, I hear you over there, sheep. It's one of the fun things when you're trying to make stuff happen, So let's see here. I want to make sure that it's not too obvious. It's not too obvious, so. Ah! Just gotta love it when you're moving around and, oops, that's right. Don't have another block there. Don't want to be too cramped here. So let's go ahead. Grab some blue wool. I mean blue carpet. Duh. Grab our fence. Then boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Thank you. We'll leave a 2-block gap right there. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. No, wait. Yeah, actually, we can do it like that. Hooray! Overthinking it. Let's go I just had a thought. Let's go shear our sheep. I haven't sheared the sheep in a while. Thing of it is, I'd have to go get my shears. Shears are in Hobbit hole. Should be over in Hobbit hole number 2. At some point, I of course need to go empty all that stuff out. Get reorganized. Get the chests recycled into the stuff down by the schmelter. It's another thing we need to do. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately this week has been another one of those. I was hoping to stream on Monday on the holiday, but of course, as per usual, my sleep schedule was. Okay, let's see. Shears. Steel shears. Oh, wait. There we go. Shears. Boom, boom. Let's quickly just get all that stuff out of my hotbar so I can, come on. Don't have to worry so much about stuff in my hotbar. Yes, camels. I know you're there. It's been we've been doing this world for 3 years. Yeah, it's had a fairly easy night at work, so yeah, Lurkers are welcome, though. I do a fair share of lurking myself. Enjoy your luck. We, of course, do have our new string farm, and, but trust me, as you saw there on the throne room, this has been a project that's been taking me a long time. Stupid torches. Sheep! Stop getting each other's way. I'm trying to not place torches. I just wish I was far more financially stable to be able to, oh, jeez Louise, it's storming outside. Just a moment, sheepy sheeps. I'll be back to finish doing more shearing. I don't want the forest outside to go burn down. No, foresty, no Bernie. No. No! Bed, come here. There we go. Stormy, go bye-bye. Now, like I said, this is of course taking a while, guys. I want to do this sort of thing again, but we're gonna not do it for our next world. Like I said, I do not have. Right now, I do not have the luxury of, you were almost an escape artist there, sheep. Definitely for our next world. I just gotta make sure that I just put my, roots, to the gas pedal and, put my roots to the gas pedal and, get the smelter built. Come on. There we go. Shears there, so it's at least something. Hopefully, it'll be on hand. But yeah, it's one of the next things we're gonna have to do. Is let's see. What did I just taking a look here? Like I said, I know I want that to be my private quarters. Let's see. Treasure vault. Okay, treasure vault. I couldn't remember what I'd tagged for what, where. Treasure vault. Room access. Room access. Room access. Room access. And then, of course, this right here is the sugarcane farm. One of these rooms, probably this one. I'm just kind of thinking here. This will be a library. So let's go. While I'm thinking about it, put this down as library, and the next three will probably be guest, some form of. Probably like, let's see, there's 3 rooms left. 3 access portals left. Yeah. So probably that one and the one behind the column there. We're looking nearby. There's something swimming in water. Of course, part of this area used to be a underwater. Water cave. Probably this room and that portal will be access. You know what? Probably be access to. That would be kind of an idea. How we have right there, the two portals to the kitchen. One right there, one right there. We could have, a little specialty suite. I'm thinking right here in the middle. And then, it'd be a little bit of a compact suite. And we'll probably take some design elements from the access, from the bathrooms and the kitchen to make it, a little compact suite. But, obviously it'll be something a little bit special. We'll make sure to have, lots of the wall equivalent to, make it a thing. So, sweet access. So yeah, we'll probably have, like a little bit of, you know what? Actually, just be staring at the column. You might, well, actually, let's see here. You know what, actually, we'll make this one the suite access because it would, not only would it look over the throne, but also have a little bit better view. As well as, let's see, visitor, suite. See. Barracks only has one R in it. Barracks access. Barracks access 2. This is going to be barracks access 1. All right. There's that. So yes. So basically, sort of behind. Well, we'll sort of work out. What we'll probably do is we'll work on the library first. Library, then the suite, then the barracks. That way, I can figure out how I want to design those the barracks in between the suite and the library. I said, I'm glad I kind of came up with this design. It's been a ridiculous build to build, but it has been totally worth it. Like I said, I just haven't had as much time as I would like to do Minecraft stuff, in part because of work, but also don't want to get burnout. That's why I said, like, this week I've been doing some planet-based stuff, a personal world sort of thing. So anyway, let's get back to the kitchen. Let's head up top side. And over here, first. Ooh! Tree has idea that popped into canopy. Come on. Ooh. Yes. we're going to have to make a run back again to the hobbit hole. But we already have part of what we need. Let's go ahead and stow all the wool in here. First, need to grab our iron bars here. Since we're topside here, we don't need to worry quite so much about the view. Don't want to. Yeah. Good. It's looking good. More of our iron bars here. And then let's go back over here again to the hobbit hole. Go get those chains. We've don't remember if I did. I think I did do that on stream, or maybe one episode where we kind of went and did at least part of it on stream. Where yes, camels, I know. Get some more of our iron bars while we're here too. Go get some change. Sort of a the hanging rack sort of thing. If I wanted to do that, fire that up some. Let's see. Stone, red, monument, books, dirt, smooth stone. Thought I had here somewhere. Eggs, shells. Drops. Heck. Gold. Stone. Don't need any of that. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. Honestly, ow. Honestly thought I had more bars than I had. Oh well. If I recall, I think there's I I think you can actually now craft bars, as I recall. Other than having to get them from a fortress. Okay, let's come over here. That's interesting. Oh. There we go. There we go. So I knew I wanted to have the chain here for something, and that's why I've been thinking, you know, use it for the you know, prep area for you know, like you know, for you know, preparing hide carcasses for you know, meat carvers. Because of course we have you know, if this were slightly more realistic, you know, we would have butchers, you know, coming in and, you know, processing the carcasses, you know, for for the stuff. Of course, this being a yeah, one can be worried there, little. One can be worried. If you want to be worried, be worried. I'm not too worried. I wouldn't want to work in a meat factory, I'll tell you that for sure. It's not just the safety concerns for the work conditions. I would be far more concerned about me myself getting turned into wood chips. That's what I would be more concerned about. But yes, we now have our the buttons. Got the buttons. I would be far more concerned about myself getting turned into wood chips. Okay, so this area is done. The freezer / meat area. Let's see here. Let's go ahead here. I believe I should have flint and steel here. So we need to get the area lit up for the fires so that we can make it look like a grill. Hello? Aha! No. I'm the sort that I like having I like having, bright. I prefer bright, especially, that is why, especially here in this kitchen area, I have made sure that having actually worked in actual food service myself, actual IRL food service, it's, being able to see what one is doing is a good thing. So yes, like I said, actually having been in actual food service, being able to see what one is preparing, that is why I have done this. Now, if I wanted to make more of a dungeon, then yes. If I wanted more of a dungeon, then yes. Come on. What I'm trying to do is just make it look like a grill. A big, fancy, schmancy grill. Let's turn it. There we go. Come on, scroll over to the... Thank you. There we go. Grill 1 of 4 complete. Yes, I just soiled the table with my roots. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I do not want to be tree chips. If anything, in this my own world, I'm... Ow. Oh, there goes flint and steel. If anything, I'm most afraid of my own tree farm. Well, that's the part I'm most afraid of. I don't remember if I bought over... I don't think I have spare... yeah, I thought I didn't have spare flint and steel. Gotta go get it. I should have another flint and steel back in the hobbit hole. Here we are, of course. I try to be organized and yet, of course, being organizationally dysfunctional. So trying to, having to, do that little bit of side stuff in there because I'm trying to maneuver with one hand and take a sip of brandy with the other hand. Yes, I am. Yes, I am drinking, but it's only going to be it's only a small serving. Oh, yeah, I don't want the lightning one. I was like, could have sworn I had flint and steel. Another flint and steel, and I was like, yeah, I looked right over it. Now, I don't like it. This has been because, of course, my real job and all that. That's why it's taking so long to do this. Yeah, like I said, if you can watch over on the YouTube channel to help keep up to date with that little. I don't remember where it is, but I know somewhere there's sounds like ocelots or at least fish doing their stuff there. Actually sounds so pleasing. Despite the fact that I, as a tree, am quite averse to being in a fire. Oh, let's see here. Should have, there we go. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to need to go get some iron. Fortunately, we have some iron downstairs. We got to finish up that area a little bit there, too. Two downstairs! Let's go get ourselves some irons. It's probably a decent chunk of the reason why we have so few iron bars is because putting all the end rods here on the Y pillars. That's obviously a significant reason why I have so few. It's from the stronghold. I don't know why I said fortress. The stronghold. Let's see, my card is downstairs. Time to go splash. Fortunately, we have a fairly decent supply of iron. Let's spare stuff back. Let me go ahead here and mute desktop for you guys. That way I don't blow out headphones users. Try to be courteous in that regard, because I know that some people, they may be, at the gym, going to work, taking a walk, whatever, and they don't need their ears blown out. That's a pretty standard sound, and that's the tap 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 here on the copper. I've always found that pleasing. It's I know there's what's the term? There is a it's not quite ASMR, but it's sort of ASMR-ish. It doesn't quite. I forget what ASMR fully stands for, but it has that, that same sort of. It starts to evoke that same sort of response, at least for me. That's why when. Oh, there's that. Upstairs. It evokes, for me at least, evokes that a little bit of that ASMR sensation, if you will. Crackle here of the fire is in its own way a little bit like ASMR too. The fact that it's kind of soothing in its own way. Don't burn yourself, tree. You don't need no need for spontaneous combustion. Of course. I need to go make another flint and steel! I think we got some flint over here at the... Wait. Double check over here, tree, before you go checking in the chest by the items sorted there. Aha! Aha! Hooray! Me double go and say, wait, tree, use your canopy. Check. since we'll be going back hopefully next Monday, knock on wood, we'll be heading back to Age of Mythology Mondays. And hopefully that will help me get a little bit off planet base and off time, so as that I can do some more mining so we can get more iron, because we need all the iron. Wait, what? Oh, stupid. There we go. There we go. Go ahead here again, mute desktop so that I don't blow out headphones users. Like I said, I know that some people, you know, they'll watch streams or YouTube videos. So, you know, like I said, well, you know, they may be studying for school or going to the gym, taking a walk, whatever. And, you know, I don't want, you know, having headphones on right now myself. I was like, there are times it's like, ah, for my ears. Right. Tree. And I just lost the darn sucker. Oh well. Shows what happens when you mispoint your cursor. There we go. Of course, we do have this all leading up the chimney, of course. So, yes. Alright, so let's, what do I have in crafting tables? Need to double check what I have in crafting tables. Should have some, hopefully. Chest, we'll need those. Crafting tables. Oh, crafting tables. Where in the bloody blazes did I put you? Once again, I have 2 different axes. And lots of chests. Lots of chests. I don't want stuff. I need to put all that there. Let's head over here. Back again for the millionth time to the Hobbit Hole. Need to get ourselves some more chests. So glad that I decided to put in some, you know, a little bit of a pattern here. Yes, camels, I hear you. I'm so glad that when this world spawned in, you know, we have the Oxodal pool here, and it was just a little, it was, you know, a couple mostly surrounding the bridge, and it was only about as deep as the first layer, maybe the second. And I was like, you know, with the Oxodals over here in the lush caverns in that direction, I was like, God, I want to save them. Or at least have some of them. And I was like, but where in the heck am I going to put them? And then I was like, duh, make out a pool. Duh. And then that's why I thought, you know, have some drainage going into the pool, you know, from either side. You know, tree farm over there, the what's it over here, and that's why I thought, just make it, drain in, and that's why we went to the effort to put in right over here, the drainage out. We went through all the trouble to, we'll take a tour here through the garden. Just for the giggles. And then of course it comes out right here. If it come out, it's, this is right here. This is on the drainage level, the top of the thing, and that's why I have it draining right here. I thought, of course, originally doing it split over there, but I was like, yeah, let's have it go be part of the river. Such a good idea to finally get rid of the farm system over there. That was so really ought to put a fence. Like right up here. Continue the fence and leave that one. Actually, that would be kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, I know that. Wooden fences, you can submerge them, like in a block like this. I know here in Vanillas that we can do that, but that's why I've got, for the oxidal pool, I've got at the block where, it's the drainage for the oxidal pool, because of course, want it to be somewhat realistic, the water flowing in from all around, the area of the oxidal pool over the bridge. Yeah, it's like, I honestly haven't tried, but we can. I know what, crafting tables. That's why I came out here. Crafting tables. Did I put those crafting tables? There they are. Fortunately, little, you are in luck because I have over here. Yeah, it's, I honestly haven't really given much thought to iron bars, for that sort of thing. They're usually, something more decorative like this. So, fortunately, let's see here. Let's quickly put that there. Bars, get stone brick. Where are there are the buckets. Fortunate, Lil, I have an infinite pool. Okay. Let's see here. Time for a donkey dung test. You can do it with iron bars. Can do it with iron bars. You've seen it here first, Lil. So, time for a retrofit. Time for a retrofit. Yeah. Got drinks now, son! We'll take the proper way to get down there. I'll still keep these guys right here going like they are, so, oh yeah, I forgot about how I did that. I just wanted, you know, that I had forgotten that, I had it just ended straight down in a straight angle without the stairs right there. For the drainage off these sides here. Yeah, all I would need is carpets and iron grates. I mean, iron, truck doors. Ah! Ooh. There we go. There we go. Retrofit there complete. I'm going to come over here to the oxidal pool. And I knew that, let's see. Thing go. There they are. Just like that, retrofit complete. And that's bit to the, let's see. Ah, we'll have to fix that. It's all right, Lil. I can get very easily distracted. Ah, tweet. All right, Lil. I am in my own way. I am very, very notorious for getting distracted. It's nice to be in amongst the oxidals, so. And and thank you, LA, for the follow. Welcome to the Tree Grove. Alright, retrofit fully complete. We now have proper grates right here for the two drainage sides from the garden side and the tree grove side, the tree farm side. Of course, we have for the exit as well, both ends. So, hooray. And so no critters, at least in theory, no critters would be able to get into, cause shenanigans with the oxidals and the oxodals are not able to get out. Like I said, this is their safe space. This is very much meant to be their safe space. That's why I made sure to give them a... I've thought about perhaps expanding the pool, but I really can't do that now with the tree farm right there and the garden right there. I could go deeper, but I don't really, well, want to. It's about what it's going to be, and it's that's why I try to give the oxodals some depth to play with, and some width. Yeah, exactly. There's LA. There's a let me show you here. I should have a hole somewhere here. Oops. Yes, camels, I hear ya. Should be, I think it's this first nook right here. Or at least that's what I remember it being. Yes. Okay, so... you can see some parts of it. It's a whole frickin' lush cavern right in here. And so, there's some, you heard the pig farm over here. From over here and a little bit over there too, I've saved some oxodals. So is that, it's like, I know that IRL, they're an endangered species. And that's part of the reason why, of course, Mojang put them in game, is to help raise awareness. And so I was like, well, I want to save the oxodals, but where am I gonna put them? And then originally this was just a deep little pool right here where we have the bridge, the Grand Causeway coming into the actual base itself from the ocean. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Let's widen it out, deepen it, and we will have an oxodal pool. So yes, this is the oxodal pool. They have a little, that's supposed to be a representation of, water draining out from both sides here, draining into the oxodal pool, and then there's the little thing we've just retrofitted stuff, iron grates in. I mean, technically I could put iron grates right there, but let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. I think I actually need to come in here and replace, since I did that. That way we don't get people actually trying to do the baddies to the oxodals. There we go. But yes, it's the oxodal pool. Now, like I said, this is officially called, the official name, going from where it comes in right here to the base, all the way over to, you can see that birch forest over yonder. The official term for what I call this is the Grand Causeway. And, its nickname for especially this segment right over here, because we have this river coming out and goes into an ocean. This, in particular, this segment right here is called the Bling Bridge, because it's all blingy, with all the copper and all that. Yes, I know there's no gold, but, you're able to get so much copper and vanilla, it's like, in its own way, it's kind of blingy, so that's why I've designated it as the Bling Bridge. But it's particular, from right here across the river. The whole thing is called the Grand Causeway. It just leads into our mountain base. Alright, let's get back to more of the regular kitchen prep stuff shenanigans, so... thinking that, this is going to be, of course, like I said, I have my night job, and of course I'm going to need to get some sleep. I think I'm going to take a little break here in just a second as soon as we sort our stuff out here. So let's go ahead here. We'll just dump out the water. to our infinite pool. Consolidate the buckets. Let's see, there's that, there's that, there's that. Let's see what I have for carpet. Alright, let's go ahead here. Oh, that's right. Let's see, craftable. I'd have to go see the thing about the friendly gas stuff. I haven't done that yet. Mostly because let's see. Oh, I forgot that was a thing. Glue item frame. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, blue harness. I'm gonna have to look that sort of thing up, but I've never, honestly, why am I trying to dye quartz pillar? I guess that, yeah, I feel like a dim. Blue wool, blue carpet. Oh, we need to, I think we haven't fully, somewhere, yes, canopy powers activated. I thought I hadn't, for whatever reason, I thought I hadn't fully, carpeted the nooks. Here we are, getting distracted again. Typical, distraction shenanigans. Like I said, even though this is going to be a short stream, I still want to take a little bit of a break because my roots are getting a little bit antsy. But of course, like I said, me having my night stocking job, stocking freight and all that is, it's just, helping keep moving. Even getting times to, rest is always good, but still. Okay, OCD check passed. Or what's it in? So, let's go ahead here, guys. Gonna take a quick little break so I could go stretch my roots, and I need to use the little trees room. But yeah, guys, let's everybody stand up, stretch, get something to eat, get something to drink, use the restroom. We'll see y'all here in a few minutes. Okay, guys, tree is back. Yeah. I know that was a little bit of a slightly shorter break, but it's a case of yes, want to make sure that get our more of our stuff done. So, drink some water there. A little bit of a necessary thing. All right, so. Back here into, let's see. Now this is yeah. I want to leave the glowstone like that there on the corners, but up here on the freezer area, I want. Oh, okay. I just saw that and I was like, duh. See how this looks here. And I have some. I want. Basically, the sort of idea I had was originally, I wanted to put, the fence posts there with carpet on the blue carpet on top, but of course with the chain link right there, that's not going to work. So what I was thinking is because I want this to be a little bit, showing that it's, a little bit of a colder area, because you'd want to keep some amount of, in a more, I think I'm not fully sure what a meat packing plant is like, where people, the various butchers, they're cutting up the sections of meat. Yeah, tree, stop being a dum-dum. I want a little bit of a cooler area feel. Now, I still want these freezers, if it's 3 blocks by 2, it's a fridge. If it's 2 by 2, a square, it's a freezer. That's the way it's usually been for me in Minecraft, to denote at least my personal preference. Now, technically, I could make these red, but with this being a colder area, for the meat processing and, thawing, is technically, you could, when you have your, your rack of ribs or your lamb, your leg chops, whatever, if you want them to defrost, before you just don't go take a frozen leg of lamb and you just go chuck it on the fire. You're gonna have your outside's gonna be cooked, but it's not gonna be cooked all the way through the middle because the middle is still gonna be frozen. So that is why I wanted a little bit more. That's why I want the blue. Now, yes, and of course, blue and white, they can denote feelings of cold, cold colors. So yeah, this kind of feels, and it gives the people, the butchers, if they're busy, preparing the cut, they're cutting off, if they've got, they would have the equivalent of cow carcass, they're going to cut off, the hind quarter, the forequarter and all that, and they have a space to be able to put it, and then further process the cut. It's one of the fancier grocery stores in Treelandia that I've been to. I've seen them, and and also at the more common grocery store that I've been to as well, you could see the in the meat department, the guys, them actually, cut it. They're obviously already doing cuts on partially processed cuts already, but you could see them, like prepping, all the, like chicken breasts and hind quarter and all that sort of jazz, pork ribs and all that. And, see them processing, making up further, taking, I forget the technical terms, but taking, a larger, essentially what would be a larger cut and doing it out into smaller cuts. And that's what I want part of this area to feel like, is that the processing of cuts. And you could also have, stuff drying out too. That is, in the era before refrigeration. No, that tree was overthinking again. I was overthinking. In the era before refrigeration, you would smoke meat to cure it or salt it. Like salted pork and all that. Gosh darn it, that's got me thinking about Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King in the opening when the company is coming to Isengard after the Battle of Helm's Deep, and of course Treebeard, Merry, and Pippin are at Isengard. They in the extended edition of the Two Towers, the two hobbits find Saruman's personal storeroom. And he's got, all these luxuries in there. And so one of the things is, like salted pork and pipeweed. And so, when the Return of the King starts, they here we are, Gimli says, here we are, we find you feasting and smoking. They're smoking pipeweed. And then Pippin says, the salted pork is particularly good. And then Gimli goes, very drably, salted pork. that just amuses the heck out of me. All right, so let's see here. I thought we had. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We got some white carpet. So, still need to do stuff upstairs. But what I want to do while I am thinking about it is get sort of a little bit of a prep thing down here. Part of this sort of prep area. Let's go ahead and put that one there. Dum dum. Dum dum. I didn't mean to access the crafting table there. Speaking of dwarves, I have finally, another oopsies. Oh, ooh, idea. While I'm thinking about the idea. Let's see here. Have to come back over here anyway. Blah blah. Book. I'm reading. Okay. Book. So I'm currently reading the first book in the Age of Fire by E.E. Knight. And, let's see here. There we go. do. Reading the first book in the Age of Fire series by E.E. Knight, called Dragon Champion. Basically, the Age of Fire tells the story of 3 dragon siblings by the names of Auron, Wistala, and the Copper, later known as Rugard. And basically, these 3 siblings in the world they are in, they are dragons. They are sentient dragons. And the dragonic species in this world is facing tough times. They are facing competition from various humanoid species. Dwarves, elves, humans, and some humanoid monsters. Blighters and Daemons. D-E-M-E-N. And so the story follows these 3 protagonists. It's a total of 6 books. Let me get you guys the link to the Wikipedia article at least. And I don't remember if Mr. Knight has a personal webpage or not. Let's see. But the first 3 books follow each particular hello there, bot. It's only a couple days old. But the first 3 books of the 6-book series do deal with each sibling's point of view of their story. It's sort of sort of like in MCU, how there's like the first Hulk film that really is not an MCU movie, the first Iron Man, first Thor, first Captain America film. The first 3 books are kind of that. It's their initiating story, and the it lays the foundation for their character and their later interactions with the greater world and their siblings, because they eventually get reunited. And then the later 3 books are each in their own way kind of they have aspects of an Avengers movie as well as an individual characters movie. So sort of think of like the the Avengers Age of Ultron, 3 times, but with a little bit of, say, like Thor, Dark World, or Iron Man 2, or the second Captain America film. I'm blanking out on I'm blanking out on what that one is. Sort of like that. And that's it's for what it is. I think it's a pretty interesting story, and I went the wrong direction. Duh. Let's go ahead here. We will stow in a couple barrels right there. I was like figuring out, you know, these little nooks and crannies sorts of stuff for, excuse me, but it felt good. Nooks and crannies stuff for, one's builds. And so, basically, in the Age of Fire, the three siblings each have their own unique experiences once, when their home is invaded. It's described as about a couple seasons after they were hatched. And, basically, there are reasons why this occurs and all that because of what happens when they hatch, blah, blah, blah. Oops. And so Rugard has the Copper, as he's known initially, before he eventually becomes powerful, becomes essentially a leader of the dragons, the Dragon Nation. And he, do I want to do one past? Yeah, let's do one past on each side. We'll have to go to the other side too, so this way we'll have it'll be a little bit easier because, you know, obviously I wouldn't want necessarily people to take, you know, a right turn and to go tripping and all that. And it keeps it too wide, which keeps it in tune with this. I don't want to go down the middle. That's why we're trying to keep space to either side here. You know, so that, you know, people can see the stuff come, you know, being prepared, you know, for being brought out. But I don't want, you know, stuff down the middle. You know, I want to, again, I want these a little bit of a causeway. You know, you can kind of look in and see, you know, the chefs, the servers, you know, coming over, you know, bringing stuff over, you know, getting stuff ready, and then, you know, bringing it out. Come back over here, do the same right here. So yes, each of the protagonists, Rugard, Auron, Wistala, each of them comes and develops their own unique point of view as a result of their crafting table. Right, let's go get crafting tables. Don't be a dumb tree. Crafting table. So grab more stick, more what's its. There we go. But each of the protagonists develop their own POV as a result of their experiences. Most in their own way get at least some, all three at least in some way get their own version of a political experience with at least one, if not multiple, of the races of this world that this story takes place in. Since we're up here, we can have a little bit more space for prep room. Leave that like that. So yeah, each of the protagonists have their own experiences in the world relating to interactions with the other races, primarily hominids, that is, humanoids. or what we here on Earth would think of as humanoids. Ah, come here. And there's some very interesting things that go on in the whole book series as a whole. So, if you like sort of a Tolkien-esque world where and dragons aren't aren't necessarily evil. They, of course, by some people's point of view, they are evil or a major threat because they would hunt sheep, pigs, cows, horses, etc. Livestock, and thus could threaten the livelihood of farmers or ranchers. And so, but there are also those who come to realize that, hey, dragons aren't so bad. So, for example, part of the book, of the first book, Dragon Champion, I have read. Oh, that's an idea. Or do I want to do that? Ooh. We have to go make up some more barrels. So some more wood. Yeah. So put 2 more right there, that'll be sweet. On both sides. I'm just taking a look-see around, see if there was anything else we could potentially add. So let's see. I don't think I have any wood here. Yeah, we're gonna have to go snag some more wood from base. So I'm in the hobbit hole. Believe it. Probably have to spend some time, this weekend. Aside from mining, I'm trying to get into some mining. I think I'm going to try to spend some time over here at the tree farm getting some wood made, dark oak, because we're going to need the chests for not only the wood for not only chests, but to make up more hoppers. So. More than enough barrels. No, that's it's an interesting series, and very much worth the read if you want to not necessarily have a try to see dragons survive in a world that is very hostile to them. Let's see, whip out those barrels. Go ahead and do 3. Yeah. Yeah, this has a certain. I'd like to put something up here, but it would feel, it's one of these things that's part of me is going back and forth both ways. Is keep it open, so as that people aren't bonking their heads against anything, but at the same time try to put in a lot of stuff, and so that's why I'm thinking try to just keep it clear. Go ahead and come over here. Don't remember. Oh, it had it up to like there, so quickly come over here. This is 1. Okay. You know what? I think we'll do one more like that. Yeah. It's not too bad, and people can still get around decently well. Okay. And fully do it over here like this. There we go. Do I want to leave it like 2 over here? Let's see how this looks. Yeah, let's do. I think we could do the 1. Yeah. I think we can do it like that. I have to go. Now I have to go back downstairs, get more fenced up. Another series. I haven't read the series in years. I'm gonna have to reread it at some point. I don't think it I haven't. From what I remember, I don't think it exists yet in ebook format. But I know I've got it in paperback. It's the Half-Blood Chronicles by Mercedes Lackey and Andre Norton. Go ahead and get that link for you. Basically, this series has a world inhabited by humans, and elves and dragons come from their own respective world to the one inhabited by humans. And at least in one area, the area that the elves come in and conquer, they become the evil overlords of the area. They enslave the humans, and it's found that when the offspring of elves and humans, half-bloods, known colloquially as wizards, because they can access both elven magic and human magic, and there's a whole explanation to that. Like I said, I haven't read the series in a long time now, but I'm thinking about rereading it, but currently reading, of course, The Age of Fire. The elves are, for the most part, depicted as the bad guys. They're not like Tolkien's elves, where they're good. These are more of corrupt rulers, if you will. And they initially sort of they sort of deal with, they try to wipe out any kids that are the results of human elven pairings, but they still happen, and in many cases these wizards manage to escape, both male and female. They're called wizards, and they're forced into hiding, and the dragons also are in hiding, and they very much are in hiding because they realize of how much of a threat the elves can be, both elves and humans. But they eventually come to ally with some of the renegade wizards and free humans, and start to try to smack the elves down. Unfortunately, Andre Norton died in when was it? I think it was like 05. I was thinking it was like 2004, 2005. So yeah, she died in 2005, and the series since oh wait, apparently the fourth book, Elven Bread, is apparently now expected for 2026. It's been since Norton's death in 05, has been stuck in limbo because of her estate issues. But apparently, expected next year. Let's see, in 2005, this is of course according to the Wikipedia article, in 2005, Arc Manor acquired the rights to republish the original 3 books, and the 4th book, Elven Bread, is expected to be completed by Mercedes Lackey and Ben Olander, and is expected in August of next year. Maybe I can get it in ebook format now. I'll have to check. But part of the interesting thing about the dragons in the Half-Blood Chronicles series is that they are shapeshifters. You know, you could think of like in The Hobbit. You know, you could think of Smaug. You know, being say I think is like sort of like a 100-foot long dragon, and and of course he's got his he's a drake, not a dragon, of course. His wings are a part of his forms. They're not separate wings, but dragons can shapeshift, and so take a picture of a dragon like Smaug, and imagine him being able to shapeshift into a human-sized form. That's, in its own way, it's kind of rad. Let's see here. Here we are. We're talking about fantasy, and of course, get all distracted. So, let's go ahead here. I'm going to put in some stuff right here. to... I want to put in some more furnaces. And, excuse me, calcite. So let's go ahead and go get those. Get another stack of fence. Get some more wood. Make that make a little bit more stuff up here. Tap into the dock here. Excuse me. All right, I'm thinking here that 36 more barrels will be enough. Probably more than enough. Blah blah blah. All right. So let's see here. Let's go and go to bed. And even though we're working underground, I still want to make it daytime. Daytime. A thing to later. That might be a thing to later do. Is to make up a whole bunch more barrels and sort of make, you know, the liquor storeroom attached to the kitchen. Remember, guys, please be please be of legal age in your respective domain if your domain allows you to drink, and please drink responsibly. But that would be an idea to like have where would be a good that might be a good idea to, you know, like have a kind of want to keep this area up here like it is, but maybe have it could be, you know, like I maybe could, you know, do a little split off right here on either side. Or maybe, you know, have a come through, like, say, right here. And have that access the liquor vault. You know, for the beers and all that. Beer, wine, etc. So, I like that tree. what I'm thinking here is well, we need to go get the calcite too. Busy thinking here, so just work with me here. Work with me here. Up. There we go. Calcite. Check this stuff out of my hot plate so I have room to put stuff the way I want it. Still need to finish up that little bit there too. Together. Yeah, come on. There we go. Do it like this so we have more room. More working room, that is. Yeah, I like. I want to be able to, have people, come in and out and all like that. Yeah, this stuff. Yeah, I like. So all we would need to do is, oh, that's an idea. I want to put them in. Yeah, yeah. It still feel a little too crowded. Fifth barrels right there. Yeah. Yeah. This feels good. Spacious, but feels like, you've got, like chests downstairs, barrels up here. Feels reasonably spacious, and, there's some storage capability, but at the same time, it doesn't feel too overwhelming. Do I want... Part of me is thinking... Let's try it. At least on the upper level here. Keep the one there on the lower level decluttered. Yeah. In this case, having a center line right here kind of augments the production without making it feel too cluttered. Because this way, it feels a little bit too, not necessarily awkward, but a little bit of wasted space. Gonna make up some more carpet. Gonna make it some more carpet. Duh. All right. Was it? Was the other side? Depth. There we go. Yeah. Doesn't feel too out of place. You know what? I'm thinking that we're going to do... Let's go ahead here. We're going to do the same down here. Let's see what this looks like. Let's just quickly see what this looks like. And if it doesn't feel quite right, we'll, let's go ahead and take this guy here out. We'll go ahead and also do it back here along the wall, too. And we can always take it out. Always take it out. And I want to leave the gap right here because this is, of course, coming in to the kitchen itself. Oops. You know what? inside, it feels very much augmentatious. It augments. Yeah! Looking in, it doesn't really detract too much. It still draws you in. Let's just take a quick gander here. See what this looks like, too. Do it like that. That feels a little, this right here feels a little bit too far. I want to leave a little bit of a gap here for cross traffic. Take a look. It actually doesn't detract too bad, so long as we keep a 3. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. It still follows the thing in. Let's take a look. See here at the other side. Let's take a look. See here at the other side. Yeah, that draws us in. You see, this side feels too spacious. It is too open. I want the open nature, but this feels too open. Whereas this over here, this draws you in. Whew, excuse me. This feels more drawing in. You still get to see the stuff, but it feels more like it's drawing you more in. Need between the cross cuts and then that right there. Cross cut of what's that? I will say we'll make an exception right here, because I want it to be the same color. Excuse me. That felt good. Well, at least being able to yawn felt good. That glowstone right there to this glowstone right there. So oops. So I will what I'll probably do as part of this, I'm going to go and finish this little corner right here, and plus whatever additional featurings I feel like adding to. I might add the, let's see here. Yeah, actually this kind, oops. I will have to make up some more barrels, but you know, put in like a barrel right there, barrel right there. Couple right here. Well, might even put a chest there. Oh, that would be a good idea. Put in some chests right in this area. And alternate it with vents that have carpet on top and barrels. Oh, excuse me. Like I said, it's being time for me to, essentially go to bed. But yeah, I'll finish this a little bit off. I'll add in some extra features here at some points. It'll probably have to be, we'll probably come in and, have it be, the secret wine room or the alcohol room. So we could probably have, like take out these two guys right here. Same two guys over there, in between the glowstone blocks on both sides. Have it go in a downward direction. Make a little bit of an alcohol cellar. For the mead, the wine, the beer, rum, whatever, or the equivalent. So, it'll obviously, because of course alcohol is alcohol and vanilla doesn't have that, we'll just have glass. We'll have water bottles essentially. But it's at least have sort of the equivalent of that sort of thing. But with keep it kid friendly. So anyway, guys, it's time for us to see if we can't go find somebody to raid, because I need to make sure that I get to bed. So is that as you guys can hear, I am tired as heck. I need to go to bed. So as that I can get to work tonight. So let us see who is live. Who is oh, hello. Someone I haven't said hi to in a while. Oh, good. They haven't been live too terribly long. Wunderbar. 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 We're going to go say hi to Kendersite over at twitch.tv/Kendersite. So go ahead and select the Tree Grove has arrived to bring you Shane War. Sorry, Shadow Ray Call. Please wait for me to post first. I want a nice strong raid behind me. Hope to catch you guys tomorrow, Saturday, for another episode of City Building Saturdays in Pharaoh Cleopatra. Sunday, we will have another episode of Tetchy Quest the Loot Grind. Hopefully next Monday and Thursday, if not probably Tuesday, Friday, will be another couple episodes of Let's Play Age of Mythology Retold. If you're watching here on Twitch at twitch.tv/OsageOrange, please remember to hit that follow button. If you're watching over on the YouTubes at youtube.com/OsageOrangeGaming, please remember to go ahead and leave a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon for notifications. It really does help. Oh, I, of course, typoed. Make sure that there we go. Wanted to make sure I got it. So, yeah, guys, let's go ahead and get this raid party started. I does appreciate everybody who has come out, and I hope to catch y'all in the next episode. Ta-ta for now.